I'm Chally, the Angel of Love. Let's get into it. Just as a guest, here sharing my insights on things that have gone on in my life in ways that I've helped people empower themselves and learn. So just give me a second to kind of feel into this energy. There's an energy of love and respect and romance circling throughout the air. I don't know if that's just a summer thing or if that's like, I have reason to believe it's summer, it's fluid, it's motion, it's the free-flowing nature of love. It exists in a respectful and organic way. It exists in a way that allows people to feel free and to flow. So love is free-flowing, but free-flowing energy is also loving. It's supply, and it's supply and demand in the sense that it is seeking a place to land, right? Those energies, the creativity, the love, the curiosity, the ingenuity, the authenticity. It's seeking a place to land within you, within us. And we carry out that mission through our connection to those energies. And it's something I've often called brigades, where I'm in the love brigade, of course. So there's a lot of the energy that comes through me is filtered through an assignment of and a mission of love and sharing love and spreading love and helping people understand the different types of love and how love can manifest and show its true form. But there are others who move through justice, or move through the mission of peace, or move through the mission of characteristics, right, that are associated with these things. They're all associated with the other. They all have active clarity points that touch each other. It's like the spectrum of the colors of Roy G. Biv in the rainbow. Like, blue isn't separate from indigo and violet and green. It touches it. There is an overlap. There are lanes that overlap, but there's definitely a balanced blue. There's a balanced sense of love. There's a balanced sense of peace. But there are people who work with peace and justice, who work with peace and love, who, and you work with all of them. Again, you work with all of them because even with that analogy of Roy G. Biv, you still have them all creating white light. They all create light, right? They all are, when they are in one accord, it is white light. So you reverse that, and then you have light, source, love, all of those things all in one, and then they fractal out they refract into us and our expression of the chord we're most connected to. So that's why I'm sharing that with you guys, because I think it's important to understand where I'm even coming from about the things I say. Like, it is from a sense of oneness, it's from a sense of wholeness, and it's to realize we're already whole. And it's often a remembering that helps us connect to the truth of ourselves. And in the aspects I understand, in my aspect, I understand it as us being these fractals, these embers and pieces of the totality of all that is. So, and God is good. So here we are. Anyway, I think love is a special topic. I think people will exacerbate the language and use it to their own advantage a lot of the time. Because love, unconditional love, I think the most honest form of love, like, love is unconditional. If you're actually loving, it's unconditional. So if there are conditions, then you're obviously operating from a place of ego. And that doesn't mean there's a lot of ego. It doesn't mean it's heavy, but it means the ego is still involved. And that you have expectations or desires that you might not clearly be communicating. Or something else. It could be other things. But essentially, the ego is attached in some way. And there are ways that you can kind of dispose of that and allow yourself to be free from those attachments, from those expectations, so you can operate from unconditional love. How do you detach from attachments? You release them. It's easier said than done, I know. But to release them means to understand that there's a fear associated to why you even have the attachment in the first place. So if you're fearing that this thing won't happen, you won't let go, right? Because you want the thing. You maybe want a thing to stay. You want a person to stay. And so you will not release the attachment that you have to them for fear of them leaving. Codependent, anxious, all of those attachment styles are still talking about attachments. They're still talking about you attaching to an idea or an outcome that you desire, so much so that you cling to it instead of loving it in its free-flowing energy, what we were saying earlier, in that free-flowing, authentic, pure form energy where it can land where it needs to. It can land in the people that it needs to, so that their hearts can be fixed towards you in the right way, so that the hearts of the people in the positions for the jobs that you're set up to be in the hearts of the people that you're supposed to meet and collaborate with and connect with and mature with and nurture relationships with. Right? All the energy is seeking to land in the proper people so that it can come to you. But if you're focused on how and when and who and trying to organize the what and the how of it all, then it becomes a little tricky. And you find yourself attached to the version that you feel when you visualize it, when you understand it in your own body. But that's just understanding it in yourself. You also have to blossom and open and expand in order to let the new idea come in, right? So when you release the attachment, you're actually releasing a mindset that keeps you trapped in only seeing it at a certain level, so that the expansiveness happens and the new mindset can come in, and therefore the new outcome, the new version of that outcome. And that happens over and over and over. This is the blooming, right? The flower blooms petal by petal. Each petal unlocks until you have this ultimate version of yourself that can allow things to come and go freely, allow things to come and go without these expectations attached to them, trusting that the version that's flowing towards you is the most proper version for you right now, and will then release it into its new state so that you can continue to unfold. Right? Because the unfolding for us doesn't end the same. It ends the same way a flower does in a sense, and I guess it is kind of as quick if you zoom out, right? It's like, it just goes like this, right? If you zoom out far enough, it just happens. If you zoom out far enough from our lives, we're just here and we're gone. But in that time when we're present, right? That's why it feels slow. That's why it feels like one thing at a time, right? But you can also get so focused on where you are now, being so deeply present. When you're that deeply present, this doesn't even have a sense of time. Like, it's happening fast and slow at the same time, because it just starts unfolding. Everything starts unfolding because you're unattached, right? So placing your awareness on it, it's like watching a pot boil. Placing your awareness on just the present moment allows it to kind of unfold around you as you process. So that's just a really deep way of saying releasing attachments opens up to the flow, opens up to allowing yourself to receive in the most beautiful and miraculous ways, more than you could even really imagine, right? And that's what was always promised in all the sacred texts, that there is some kind of heart desire that flows towards us when we align and are in line with a sense of devotion that gives us a sturdiness in the truth, a sturdiness in the present, a sturdiness in our devotion, to God, to Source, to all that is, right? To the Great One. So I think, I believe, I feel, I know that this is true for all of us. I think this is a very potent type of loving, this free-formed version, right? Think about it this way: loving the Creator's energy so much that you trust that it is exactly right. The way that God's energy, divine energy, source energy is flowing towards you is so perfect that what is planned for you, that what is destined for you is so perfect that you can just let it be what it is. You can just trust that it is. You can just sit in the present and rest, knowing that it is everything that you need to get you to where you feel you're headed. It's a deep, deep trust. It's a deep, deep trust. And it's hard. It's hard sometimes. It's hard to really let go of the attachment, especially in the world we're in, where control is surrounding us, surrounding you. Control energies exist. And sometimes, depending on your mission, you might be really involved. You might be in the thick, working within those systems. And some of us are working outside of those systems. And so it's a little less in our face, but we're still planted in spaces that have these control narratives still circulating. Or you meet people that you're meant to inspire and help unlock in that way, and they still have some of that control energy programming, around them. And it's deep and it's hard and it's a little chaotic at times, but it's possible to be free from those attachments. It's possible to feel free, to feel the freedom that already exists within you, to be the freeness that you already are. It's possible. And I feel fulfilled in a sense that I've achieved a version of that. And I continue to blossom and bloom in ways that help me continually connect to freedom, right? If you want to attach to something, attach to God, attach to Source, attach to the divine, attached to the divine plan. That's where the devotion comes from, right? Think about how devoted you are to something or someone when you're attached to it, right? You give all your energy and focus to it. If you place that in your sense of who God is, and your sense of self, and your sense of, connecting to the divine mission of your life, that's a pretty sacred, safe, beautiful thing to be attached to. My cat, did you see her do that? This is Prince. Hi, Princey. She purrs like a motor. She's so cute. I can't really see her. She just wants to be in my arms. Okay, good girl. But yes, the sacred safety of being devoted and being in tune and connected to God's source, to God's source energy, to divine energy, to true, true divine wisdom, divine love, catering to that, that'll take you all the places you need to be, right? And then all the people that enter your life are a part of that. But then it's about sacred discipline and keeping yourself secure in that calling, keeping yourself secure in your position. But that's for another day. Thank you for watching. I hope this inspired you a little bit. This is just something that was on my heart to share, that it's possible. I guess just giving you one way you can break free from these attachments is just to look at it. Look at it and respond in kind. Respond in authentic understanding, right? Settle in the truth that, like, the attachment is pulling you away from your center. It is pulling you away from the source energy. Is you drift over time because your focus goes there, and that can become your focus when you're attached, right? You get pulled. If you're attached to another person, right? You're walking down the street. If they start to go somewhere, there you go too. The good thing about being attached to unconditional love and God and divine energy and source and purpose that is aligned with that, with those wills, is that where you're drifting is always better than where you drift if you're attached to something or someone else. You're always drifting towards the light. And I think just kind of remembering that, and remembering not to outsource your energy that way, or, allow things to come and go and flow, and respect and peace and love and trust, deep trust, that, like, you're not free flowing into chaos abyss. You're free flowing into love and organic divine energy, and into receptivity of all that your heart actually wants. So I thank you for showing up and for listening. And if you stayed this long and you enjoyed this message, please like, comment, or subscribe to my channel if you'd like to hear more. I plan on making more videos, and let me know if there's anything that resonated with you, any questions you have, anything you'd like to hear more of. I can't wait to talk to you again. I'll see you soon.